Good morning, oh impermanent ones. We strive so hard to feel secure in our lives that we actually find ourselves latching on to things that we say are true, that are so impermanent. I remember when I first became a part of a group of people that had a different frame of reference and different energies working in their lives. They had hear voices, they could see things that other people couldn't see. They had all kinds of different kinds of gifts working through them. And I myself thought, wow, these people are really neat. They're really different. And then I found that the same thing started happening to me. Well, when it started happening to me, it didn't exactly feel the same neatness that I thought it would because of what I was feeling with regard to my perception of them. We operate, as I was saying, under the impression and the belief that things are certain ways. And then when things start changing and we begin to feel our awareness being challenged, because you see, a part of us wants to hang on to what we believe we know to be true. And yet when things start happening and it starts contradicting those belief patterns, we find ourselves in somewhat of a shaky place. So one thing that it taught me that I share with you and that I use frequently because it's so easy to do, and that is I've learned to say and to realize, I don't know. Many times I will drive Sarah absolutely crazy because she will want an answer from me, and I'll give her the one she doesn't want. And that is, I don't know. Sometimes it happens with you. You'll ask me, and I'll say to you, I don't know. And it's true. I don't know. I base my life, of course, upon many things that I, too, believe that I do know. But I'm also more and more beginning to realize the impermanence of everything. If we had a long enough timeline, we'd be able to experience how what we believe to be true today will change and become something else in another tomorrow. But our timeline is, like this. 100 years? 100 years? 100 years? No, that's a relative thing, right? But what I'm trying to do is to help you to, in yourself, be able to make a stretch, a flexible stretch, to where you can feel more comfortable being flexible and begin to then realize how uncomfortable you really are trying to hang on to things that you know are not true and yet afraid to let them go. Who can remember when you came into this life? Who can remember sitting around the table with your guides and teachers, as well as those that hadn't been birthed yet, and saying, all right, here's going to be the plan for this lifetime? I don't see too many hands going up. But we do get glimpses and pieces of it that confirm that there was a plan. As to whether we're living the plan exactly according to the way we at the table said we were going to do, that's another thing entirely too. Now, all the things that I'm bringing up to your attention right now, they may be causing you to become uncomfortable. Good. Now, if you start biting your nails, remember you've only got 10. You'll run out pretty soon. Sometimes it is that we challenge ourselves and consider that it's an affront because it's somebody else who's doing it. We even take exception to life interfering with our happiness by not doing things on our timetable. But you see, then that also reveals how it is that we're operating with these beliefs about truth that have no flexibility to them whatsoever. and what life is constantly bringing to our attention is there's flexibility in everything that life does. I know we're all used to having the sunrise and the sunset and go across what appears to be the sky in from moving, well, as it is right now, moving from winter to summer. But there's also been notions brought forward by science itself. There have been times when the sun stood still. And there were periods where darkness lasted for long periods of time. And it has been surmised that this is because the Earth stopped rotating, that it actually shifted on its axis. What if that were to happen in our timeline? Would we be able to handle it? I wonder. I look at the things that are being brought to our attention right now so far as our awakening, so far as our actual being stimulated to develop ourselves and our sensitivities in a greater way, and how we resist that. How we want to have it happen, but not have us change. We want to stay the same and just have more power. That's like saying, let's all become Hitler. No brains? Now see, I am challenging you today, and I want to challenge you today. Because, you see, I think if we allow ourselves to relax in our beliefs, then we can open up and say truthfully, all right, it's okay that I don't know. It's all right because somehow or another, I haven't really known all along. I thought I'd known, and yet life has taken care of me. When I was dead set against me, life still took care of me. When I was so up and believing that I was the one who was running the show, life still took care of me. It didn't matter so far as my awareness or lack of awareness. I mean, I can right now look back and say, 35 years ago, I had an awareness of what I was going to do and who I was becoming, and it's not the same today. I can look in the mirror and see the reflection of the change too. In that sometimes it does challenge me, but I am also realizing that the more I can be at ease with challenge, the more I can be receptive to what the whisperings of life are actually trying to say to me. When we can admit at least to the possibility of being wrong, we're then less likely to cling to outdated answers and beliefs that may be holding us back. So I thank you in your attention. I thank you in your receptivity. I know this is challenging. But you see, this is about you giving yourself the opportunity to come forward and be present and actually get a feel for what that means instead of saying, well, I've got to bring along all of my outdated beliefs with me in order to support me because I can't really do this without feeling that support. That's why I wake up in the morning and I remember, I choose to remind myself who I was before I went to sleep so that I'll have that semblance of continuity. When the fact of the matter is, when you wake up, you're going to be who you are, regardless of if that's a match with who you believe you are. What if we just actually let go? I mean, we just actually relaxed with being and just let ourselves be receptive to an inner guidance system that's been awaiting our receptivity. All things change. And when you begin to open yourself up to that, then you can get to the place of saying, all right, I'll be open. Instead of me basing my life on what I've experienced before and know is going to happen again, I'll relax with that. I'll actually begin to experience the dynamics of acceptance. This may or may not be making sense to you so far as acceptance, but we've been involved for a number of years now working with acceptance, and I still find myself resisting what happens that causes me to look again and see, where am I with acceptance? Not too close. I'm like this. Don't come too close. Something might happen to me. But you see, that something that might happen does reveal the mystery that is in the background of all of this, you see. You see, there's a mystery to all of this. And part of the reason that it's a mystery is because we are so regimented in the way that we perceive things. We start letting go of that regiment approach, and we're able to then be more open and receptive to change. Because that's one of the things that really feels like it's in the atmosphere, the invisible right now. And that is a very definite change. Just in the hearing of the alignments that were made possible today. Are you going to go with the light? Or are you going to let yourself be sucked into the dark and then have to change anyhow? You see, this planet is up for evolution right now. It is up for awakening. It is up for enlightenment. But it requires of us to let go of what we believe we know and who we believe we are, so that we can actually make the change and find ourselves then fitting in with the rate of vibration that's accelerating. There's no way in hell it's going to happen trying to maintain and stay the same. It just isn't going to work. So, if you feel a little stretch and maybe even a little tear with this, it's all right. Maybe you'll mend, and maybe you'll disappear. And maybe we'll meet again, and we'll have to blink twice to say, is that really you? Wow, don't you look different? To have the same thing echoed back. And that's because we'll have let go of who we believe we are. And we will have begun to open up and allow ourselves to really be the openness that we have been giving lip service to for so long. But then again, I don't know. So to end this, I'd like for you to join with me on whatever level it feels comfortable. I'd like for you to say with me, I don't know. 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 So anyhow, I don't know. For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.